Almighty Father in heaven, you're so good, you're so great, there's no one else like you. We thank you so much for this great new day. Thank you for this morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be alive. Thank you, Father, that you are here for this lesson. King of Kings, we surrender and dedicate the whole day unto your ever and loving hands. We place all our plans into your hands, O King of Glory. We pray that you may take the lead. We surrender our teacher into your hands, O King of Glory. Pray that you may keep on blessing him, blessing his family, O King of Kings. Keep on providing and protecting, O King of Kings. So surrender all these candidates into your hands, O Lord. May you please see us from heaven, O God. Pray that our efforts may not go to waste, O King of Kings. We pray that above it all, let your will be done. In Jesus' name I've prayed and believed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for the word of prayer, Patricia. Today, we are going to mainly concentrate on Surds. Like many of you asked yesterday that we look at Surds. So that's where we are going to put all our efforts in today's lesson. Now, when they talk about Surds, those are what we call irrational numbers. Surds are those numbers inside a square root or a cube root which you cannot be able to simplify. Take an example. When you have root of 2 you may not be able to simplify it any further. So this is what we call a surd. When you look at root of 3, root of 5, root of 7, all these we call them surds because you cannot be able to simplify it any further. Sometimes we can call them irrational numbers. In other words, you cannot write them in form of a ratio. So, any number that you cannot be able to simplify to get its perfect square root qualifies to be called a surd. Now, in surds, there are quite a lot of things we need to know. One, we are going to look at the rules governing surds. And two, we are also going to look at how do we simplify these surds. Number one, we are going to look at simplifying of the surds. Now, when it comes to simplifying surds, it means that you express it in form of any of these numbers here. Take an example. In case I have root of 18, when they tell us to simplify a surd, let me say root of 18. What you have to do, you must write it using two numbers, whereby those two numbers, one has a perfect square root. Numbers that have a perfect square root, one of them is 1. We can have 4, we can have 9, we can have 16, we can have 25, we can have 36, we can have 49, we can have 64. Those who don't know how I'm getting them, I'm just doing this. 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared, 7 squared, 8 squared, 9 squared, 10 squared. So this is going to be 81, 100. Now, whenever you have got a number and they want you to simplify it any further, you look at this number here inside the bracket and then ask yourself whether there is any number you can express it in this form. Take an example. When I have 18, you note that 18, I can write it in form of two numbers, whereby one number has a perfect root. So the first one you can say, I want in the chart to tell me two numbers whereby when we multiply them, we get 18. But that number should either have a 1, a 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. It must have a perfect root. Which number is that? Those two numbers that you multiply to get 18, but one of the numbers must have, very good, 9 and 2. Very good. Now, after discovering, always when you're writing first, the first number should be the one that has a perfect root. When you are writing, write the first one to be the one with a perfect root, then the second one should be the one without a root. So you start with the one which has a root, followed by the one which doesn't have a root. So root 18, we can write it as 9 times 2. But under the rules for surds, one of the rules, under the rules of surds, we can separate. So you can separate this and write it as root of 9 times root of 2. And when you come to root of 9 or square root of 9 becomes 3 root of 2. Now, this is what we have in a simplified form. Hope that is very, very okay. I can give another one. Take an example. If we have 27, put for me in the chat. Two numbers you multiply to get 27. Two numbers you multiply to get 27. But I want let one number have a perfect root. One number should have a perfect root if it is there. 9 and 3. But we have said when we are writing, the first thing we do, we start with the one with the root. Very good. So I write 9 times 3. So when I'm separating them, I will say root of 9 times root of 3, which will give us 3 root of 3. Now that is in the simplified form. So for whatever thing you are doing, you make sure you start with the 1. Then I'm going to give you another one. I have 128. I want us two numbers you multiply, but one of the numbers should have a perfect root. One of the numbers should have a perfect root. So let's think. One of the numbers should have that perfect root. So my number is 128. Patricia has got 64 and 2. Another one, sometimes what you can do, the number, let me say you have got 18. So for you can start testing, divide by 2, divide by 3, divide by 4, divide by 5. Here you can easily get, when you divide by 18, 9, you'll get 9 times 2. So for you, whatever number you get, you can start testing it. When I divide by 2, when I divide by 3, when I divide by 4, when I divide by 5. I repeat, the two numbers you get, they must have a, a perfect square. Now, so let me take an example. Has given us 4 and 32. You notice that 32 still can be simplified further. 32 can still be simplified further. Okay, now even let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. Those two numbers you get that you are multiplying should be within this category here. And that category should have, it can be 2, it can be 7. Okay, let me write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, any number I circle, that is it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 5, it can be 7, it can be, these are the best, those two numbers you are getting to multiply. So I want you to look out for that one. When you say 4 times 32, okay, you have now given me a lot of combinations. So someone has given me 36 times 5. 36 times 5 surely cannot give us 128. Cannot. Okay, so I'm going to look at two options. There is one who has given us 32 times 4. Another one, okay, 32 and 4. Okay, good. We are going to test out this one and we shall test out 64. Now, the person who gave us 64, still you come here, you say this is 64 times the 2. So this will be root of 64 times the root of 2. So root of 64 is surely 8 root of 2. This is the simplified form. Now, when I come to the person who has given us 32, surely it is true that 128 can be obtained by having 4 times 32, which is okay. Now, for you, what here you have done, you have not simplified further. Because when you look at 32, in 32, 4 can still go through it. When you get your root and say 32 divided by 4, you can still go through it 80 times. So meaning you have not simplified further. So, but for you, in case this is what you are getting, you'll separate. Say this is root 4, this is root 32. So this will give you 2 root of 32. But root 32 is not simplified. You simplify it further. So 32 can be simplified when you 32 it can be simplified. So can you now, for the person who has given us this, you have to go back and simplify 32 further, such that you can be able to get. So 32 can also be given in form of 16 times 2. So now for you, go on and say this is root 2, root of 16 times root of 2, which will give you 2, and root of 16 gives us a 4. So this is 2 times 4, root of 2, which will give us 8, root of 2. That's when now you go on and simplify it to its simplest form. Kindly let me know through the chat whether we are on the same page. Are we all on the same page now? Okay. Someone is asking, what about 16 and 8? If someone had used it, he had said that 128 is equal to 16 and 8. Still, you know that this is root of 16 times root of 8. Root of 16 is going to give us a 4, root of 8. But 8 is not yet simplified, so you simplify it further and say 4, root of 8. 8 is 4 times 2, which will be 4 into root of 4, root of 2. So this is 4 times 2, root of 2, which will give you 8, root of 2. So you must simplify it further such that this last digit here is a rational one, a rational surd. 2, 7, 3, 5, those ones, 11, those ones that cannot be simplified. In other words, in your simplified form, you should have at least a 2. 7 is okay, 3 is okay, 5 is okay. Which one? 11 is okay, 13 is okay. Yeah, but if you find yourself with things like 4, like 8, those ones can be simplified further. Okay, I think we are good to continue. So that's how you deal with the stats when they tell you to simplify them further. Now, sometimes they can as well tell you to simplify them further when they're in fractions. Now, in case they're in fractions and you are simplifying them further, in simple terms, they want you to rationalize them. There is something called rationalizing. Take an example. When I have 1 out of root of 2, and they want me to rationalize it. Rationalizing means that simplify it further. In other words, that you shouldn't have a root in your denominator. Rationalizing means that remove the root in the denominator. So to remove this root, I'll multiply here by root of 2. I multiply by root of 2. So when I do like that, I'll have 1 times root of 2, which gives us root of 2 out of root of 2 times root of 2. Root of 2 means 2 times the 2. These two roots can multiply. So when it multiplies, you get root of 2 out of root of 4. And root of 4 is the same as 2. So this is what we call a simplified version. There should not be a denominator in your root. In case, let me say I have 5 out of root of 3 and I'm rationalizing it. It means that I look at the denominator. I ask, how can I remove that root? So I'll multiply here by root 3. I multiply by root 3. You look at what you have in the denominator. So when I multiply the 2 here, remember in surds, if something doesn't have a root, it cannot multiply inside. So there we shall have 5 root of 3 out of root 3, and root 3 can be multiplied and get 3 times 3, which will give us 5 root 3 out of root of 9, which gives us 5 root of 3 divided by 3. So this is what we call simplified form. So in simplified form, we make sure that in the denominator, we do not have any surd. Let me hope that is okay. Can everyone just do for me this one quickly? What if we have 5 root of 2? Give me your answer in simplified surds in the chat. Mm. Okay, people have got, okay, 5 root of 2 out of 2. Good. 5 root of 2 out of 2. Okay, then that is very okay. Now, sometimes the numbers can be big. Take an example. They can give you to rationalize this. Let me say 10 out of root of 12. So can you also rationalize that? Mm-hmm. 5 root of 2. People are getting 5 root of 2 out of 2. Okay. Okay, okay. So what are you noticing? For this one, when you are rationalizing it further, you remember that this is 10 out of 12. So when you look at 12, I know some of you have just done 12 times root of 12 out of root of 12, which is very okay. So you get 10 root of 12 out of the 12. But this one, you have not simplified it to its simplest form. One example, you can say by 2 here, you'll get 5. By 2 here, this is what? 6. So you get 5 root of 12 out of 6. But still this one inside can be simplified further. So you say that 12 can be given in terms of 4 times 3 out of the 6. So what do you end up with? It becomes 5 root of 4 times root of 3 divided by 6. So what would you end up with? 5 times 2 root of 3 out of 6. So here when you try to reduce by 2, 1 by 2, this one will be 3. So you end up with 5 root of 3 out of 3. So that is the one in simplified form. So I don't know whether that's what we had. Favor, is it what you had? Because yours had it. Because I'm saying people had to. Okay. So let me give you another one in the same caliber, such that you can as well reduce it its simplest form. So I have 15 out of root of 18. So let's simplify that as well. Hmm. Simplify that. Yes, you are supposed to reduce them until they can't be reduced any further. Yes, Telly, we are just starting. We are just starting. There is a lot coming. Mm. Yes, so SADS means that you have to reduce until you can't go beyond that point. Mhm. Okay, so people are getting 15 root 2 out of 9. Others are getting 5 root 3 out of 6. Eric is getting 5 root of 2 out of 2, 5 root of 2. Okay. Also, let me do it here such that we can see what we are getting. So here, still I will say 15 out of root of 18 times root of 18 out of root of 18. So what shall we have? We shall have 15 root of 18 out of root of, down here we shall remain with 18. So I have 15 root of 18 out of 18. If you want, you can first reduce from here. By 3, this is 5. By 3, this is 6. So you get 5 out of 6 root of 18. But you know that root of 18 can be written in form of root of 9 times root of 2. So that means that here you get 5 out of 6 times root of 9 times root of 2. So here root of 9 is 3. So you end up with 5 out of 6 times 3 root of 2. Then by 3, 1, by 3, 2. So that means it is 5 root of 2 out of 2. Yeah. So anyone having that, you are correct. I don't know that people have clicked. Okay. Then I think let me give you the last one in the same category, and we see how we are getting there. So it is 10 out of root of 8. 10 root of 8. Okay, from the chart, people are getting 5 root of 2. That is good. So that answer is very, very okay. Okay, now what if we are to do further from here? Now sometimes it can be okay. Okay, now what if what we are going to rationalize is bigger than this? So take an example. Sometimes they may tell you that rationalize or simplify something that is a bit bigger. So if something is a bit bigger, then you need to know how do you summarize it or how do you rationalize it. Take an example. They can give you 1 out of 2 minus, let me say, root of 2, something like that. And they want you to rationalize. So whenever they want you to rationalize, I've said that they do not want you to remain with a root in the denominator. So when we are rationalizing, always look at the sign that is in front of the root. That is what matters a lot. And then you get its conjugate. So in case it is a minus, you make that sign a plus. In case it is a plus, you make it a negative. In other words, in case I have 2 plus root of 2 and I'm going to rationalize, I look at this sign in front of the root, then I will say 2 minus root of 2. In case I had 3 plus something like that, I look at the sign here then I will change it to minus in case I'm rationalizing. In case I had this, then remember I've told you, look what is inside the root here. So here it is positive. So I'll write negative root of 2 plus 2. That's what we call rationalizing. But what is important is you checking what sign is in front of the root. That is the one you change. In case it is positive, you make it negative. In case it is negative, you make it positive. So in case it was negative root of 2 plus 2, then I would have rationalized it as 2 plus 2. So that one is very important. Yes, Murindo.
Teacher,
Yes.
so to take you back, I don't understand the first part of rationalizing.
Have you just come in?
No,
Which part is that?
uh, for for 10 root root 8.
Remember we said here you'll multiply by root of 8 out of root of 8, which
Mm,
will give you 10
mm,
root of 8 out of 8. Now, here you can
yes.
reduce by 2, 5, by 2,
Mm,
4. So this becomes 5 root of 8 out of 4. But you can notice that 8 can be
mm,
simplified further as 4 times 2 out of the 4.
mm,
So this one will give you
mm,
5 root of 4 times root of 2 out of 4. Then root of 4 is 2.
mm,
So it means you have 5 times 2 root
mm,
of 2 out of 4. By 2, 1,
mm,
by 2, 2.
mm,
And then you end up with 5 root 2 out of 2.
mm. Teacher, we multiply. Well, what about this? Because you have said root 80 divided by root 80. I think this root we're going to multiply with this root.
Yes, root 8 times root of 8 will give you root
Mm,
64, which is 8.
mm.
Hmm.
Eh, thank you, teacher.
Okay, so let me hope this thing for the sign is clear. Okay, okay. Let me hope now we are on the same page. Yes, Joan?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Me, I'm confused now on this part, on that same part. Now, how come the two has disappeared? I
Which
thought that
two?
they are going to become two.
Remember, you have 5 times 2 root of 2 out of 4. From here, yes, this 2 here reduces with this one. So here 5 times 1 times root of 2, you get 5 root of 2 out of 2. So that's how it goes. Yes, Josh?
Now, sir, for this part where you had two out of, I mean, where you had 1 out of 2 minus root 2, you said we change the sign. And then why are you not changing the sign where we have 10 over root 8?
Oh, now remember, this is another number. This is another category of rationalizing. But still, even if you change, you get the same thing. Even if here the sign is what? Here the sign is positive. So that means you
Positive.
say times negative 8 out of negative 8. Automatically, these ones will cancel. So it remains the same thing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, now let's continue. So here we are going to change the sign. So I've told you, now we shall multiply up here by 2 plus root of 2 out of 2 plus root of 2. Members, is that okay in the chat? Kindly let me know. Okay. Yes, Eric?
Sure. Let's say there's a sign. Let's say there's a
Yes?
sign like let's say there's a sign like behind the stud.
Mm.
Does this also become Okay, let's say it's root 2 plus 2.
Root
Instead of 2
2
plus root 2. Yes, like that. You also change that sign.
Yes, now the sign you look at is the one in front of the root. So that here it is positive, I write negative root of 2 plus 2.
Teacher,
This is fine?
how comes like the sign changes? Like,
Because you are looking at how can I eliminate the root in my denominator. So the only way to eliminate the root is by we are going to look at the roots. Is that when you have a positive root times another negative root, it is very easy for it to vanish. So we are looking at how can we vanish the roots from our denominator. So that is our aim. That's why we always aim at changing the signs in front of the root. Let me hope that is okay, Elk.
sure.
Okay, so from here, I repeat, from here, after doing so, I'll have the 1 times this, which will give me 2 plus root of 2. Divide everything by 2 minus root of 2 into 2 plus root of 2. But now I want to do it in a simplified form. You remember from your mathematics that a squared minus b squared was always a plus b, a minus b, difference of two squares. When you look at what we have in the denominator, we have the same thing. We have 2 plus root of 2 and 2 minus root of 2. Now, I want people in the chat to tell me, if you compare your things here, what is your A and what is our B? In the chat, what is going to stand in for your A and what will stand in for your B? So Eric has said A is 2 and B is root of 2. Very good. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to simplify using this format here. Where there is A, I'll put 2. Where there is B, I'll put root of 2. So when I come here, I have A squared minus B squared. My A is 2, so I'll have 2 squared minus B, which is root of 2 squared. Now, when I multiply 2 squared is 4 minus. Now, root of 2 squared means root of 2 times root of 2. Now, root 2 times root of 2 means root of 2 times 2, which gives us root of 4. Root of 4 is a 2. So here I have 4 minus 2, which will end up giving me a 2. That means that the whole of this thing in our denominator, it's going to reduce to a 2. So now that means my answer will be 2 plus root of 2, everything divided by 2. And this is my answer that I have. Members, have we picked that? Is that okay? Is that okay to everyone? Okay. Yes, Molindo ask.
Teacher, what about this one? 2 plus root of 2. How am I not simplified it?
No, this one now, remember your aim for rationalizing is to make sure that in the denominator, you do not have a root, which we have done. So you can't go
Yes,
further from that point.
Teacher, I
Continue.
I mean this bracket 2 plus root of 2. Now we are not simplify. You have simplified only 2 minus root of 2.
No, I've told you, I've used this approach here to simplify everything. Difference of two squares. But if you want, for you, what you do, you'll come here and multiply 2 times everything. You get 2 into 2 plus root of 2. Then this one here times this, you get minus root of 2. into 2 plus root of 2. Then you open brackets. This will be 4 plus 2 root of 2 minus 2 root of 2 minus root of 4. Here you will get 4. 2 root minus, this is 0. Root of 4 is minus 2, which is 2. So for you can open it like this.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Yes, 7.
Teacher, why is it wrong if I first multiplied 2 times 2 minus root 2 plus root 2 as my denominator? Why is it wrong?
I beg your pardon?
Why is it wrong if I multiplied 2 times 2, the irrational numbers, minus root 2 plus root 2?
Plus?
When I collect like terms, yes,
Where? Like, where are you getting this? It's what I'm failing to get. Like, where is this thing coming from? I don't know that 7, you can tell me. I don't know how it's coming about.
From the first step, when I move to the next step as my denominator, I try to multiply the 2 times
At this step
2.
here?
No, where we from at part A.
Part here?
Up, no, in the red work.
Here?
Yes.
Ah.
I try
Remember?
to.
Now here the problem I think is you're opening badly the brackets. Remember these are 2 brackets. So when you're opening, these 2 here affects everything in this bracket. This minus 2 here affects everything in this bracket. So when you're opening, you open the way I've opened here. Hope you have seen. Hey, that is the right way to open 7. I don't know that is okay now.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Nakafero?
Yes, good morning, teacher.
Morning.
Teacher, you've said that to rationalize that side, we multiply by its opposite, but we make sure that the opposite sign appears on the side of the side. Now, supposing both of them were sides, for example, the 2 was not there, and we also had maybe root 3 minus root 2. Then how do they all change the signs?
Okay, we are going to look at that.
Yes.
Okay. Gavanian, those who have finished, kindly do for me this one. Those who have finished, do for me this one. As I pick on Gavanian. Yes, Gavanian. Gavanian, continue. Okay, Gavanian is not talking. Josh?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, I would like you to tell me the reason. Why is it that when you have 2 plus root 2 out of 2, you don't reduce, and then when you have 2 root 2 out of 2, you reduce?
Okay, now those are 2 different things. When I have, I'm going to start from here. Here, this is Joseph. And this is maybe Olivia. If I'm to divide by 2, how do you divide these 2 people? It means Joseph is going to be divided by 2, and Olivia will also get a portion. Now here, you can still reduce this the way you want. But the only problem is that you may fail to reduce. When we are reducing, here you set 2 out of 2 plus root of 2 out of 2. So if you want your answer further, it will be now 1 plus root of 2 out of 2. If you can reduce. I don't know that Josh, it is okay.
Yeah, I get it, sir.
Yeah. So that's how you can reduce if you want it to be reduced.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mugisa?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, when do we apply this method of complete squares?
Now, completing square, those are quadratics. These are surds. So quadratics is in element number 2. Hope it is okay.
But I have seen you applying it here, so it has confused me for sure.
Applying completing squares? Where?
Here you have said that using the knowledge of completing squares, then they may do this and this.
I have said difference of 2 squares. Difference of 2 squares. So those are totally different things.
Okay.
Completing squares is when you are solving quadratic equations. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Gavanian? Okay. So I've given you another number here to try out. Let me hope people are trying out. So still for this particular number, we have 2 out of 3 plus root of 2. So we have said to get, you look at the denominator, then you change the sign. This will be 3 minus 2 out of 3 minus root of 2. But I told this one in the denominator is the difference of 2 squares. So you allow me to have 2 up 3 minus root of 2 divided by, now difference of 2 squares, I will say this is 3 squared minus root of 2, everything squared. So this we shall get to 3 minus root of 2 out of 3 squared, which will give us the 9 minus root of 2 squared, which gives us the 2. So here you end up with the 2 into 3 minus root of 2 out of 9 minus 2, which will give you a 7. Now this one, in case you are simplifying it further, this 2 multiplies everything. So you'll have 6 minus 2 root of 2 out of 7. So I don't know whether that one is okay. Gavanian, you are not talking. So that's why now I'm going to lower your hand and then I mute you. Yes, Daniela.
Good morning, teacher.
Morning.
Teacher, me, I'm inquiring about this part of where you got that 2. Root 2 squared. How come it is becoming root 2 squared? I thought a negative and a positive, they like cancel out.
Now, that one, Daniela, it is coming from here. This is 3 plus root of 2. Are you seeing? And this is 3 minus root of 2, difference of 2 squares. So for here, your A is 3. Your B is root of 2. Is that okay?
Yes.
So when I come here, I will just substitute. Where there is A, I put 3. Where there is B, I put root of 2.
That is where you got the answer.
Yes, that's where I'm getting the answer. So this is your A, this is your B. So in other words, everything down here simplifies to A squared minus B squared.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. I don't know whether people were on the same. Yes, Mulindwa?
Teacher, I'm asking here. I see here you have said 6 minus 2 root of 2 out of 7. But here on our first line it was 2 bracket 3 minus root 2. And we multiply 2 into enter 2 in the bracket. And we get 6 root negative root.
Remember,
4
these 2
minus root 4.
affect everything inside the bracket. So it affects the 3 and the root 2. So it affects everything.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Yes, Angel? Angel? Okay. Angel is not unmuting. Let's first look at the first scenario. We shall come back there. Let's first look at the first scenario. Read. Yes, Angel?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Here, when we got 6 minus 2 root 2, can't we subtract
When we have
6 minus 2 root 2? The
6
one which is
minus
on
2.
top.
No, we can't. Because these two are not the same. You can only subtract if there is a root here. So you can't subtract this. This is a number on its own. So you leave it there like that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me help people reading through our first scenario we are going to deal with. Okay. Now they have told that a certain secondary school has a rectangular field of length. So now I'm going to have my rectangular field of this nature. And the length they have given us is 128 plus the root of 18, everything in meters. And they have given us here 50 meters. Now, they want us, the first task is to express the length of the field in the simplest side form, or in form of root of b. Now, if this is your length here, you are going to first write each of these ones in a simplified form. So the first thing you do, first get 128, write it in a simplified form. Let us start. At the start of the lesson, I showed you how we write 128 or any figure. So I want you to write 128 or to tell me two numbers, which when we multiply, we get 128. But one of the numbers must have a perfect root. So which numbers are those that we are going to use for 128? 64 and 2. Very good. So you must clearly show that this is 64 times 2. Then we say that always the number you start with should be the one with a perfect square root. So this would be root of 64, then times root of 2. And root of 64 gives us 8, root of 2. Then we have the second one, which is 18. So I'll go to 18. So which two numbers, which when you multiply, you get 18? Yes. 9 and 2. 9 and 2. So this will be 9 times 2, which when we simplify will give us root of 9 times root of 2. And this will give us 3 root of 2. Now from here, kindly allow me that also we do root of 50 as just our side work. Such that when we reach there, we don't need to repeat. So in case we have root of 50, can you identify the two numbers? One must have a perfect root. One must have a perfect root. Someone has already mentioned in the chat that one we can use 25 and the 2. Very good. So that means we shall have 25 times root of 2, which will give us 5 root of 2. Very good. Thank you, everyone. Now, from here, we are still on part A. We are going to start now part A. They are telling us that the length of the field in simplest form. So I'm going to come here and say, our length of the field is given by 128 plus root of 18. Now, what is 128? 128, we have expressed it in form of 8 root of 2 plus 18, we have expressed it in form of 3 root 2. Now, when it comes to addition of sides, when we are adding any two sides, the rule is if at all I have a root of b plus c root of b, when you are to add the two sides, you make sure that these and this are the same. That's when you can add them. Alternatively, the moment you look that this one is root of b, it means that they are common. That means you can pull it out and have root of b here. Then here you remain with a plus c. That one is very, very okay. So still here the same thing that we are going now to just add a and we are going to add the c. So here in our simplified form, we shall say that this one is going to be 8 plus 3, everything into root of 2. Because root of 2 is common here and common here. So that means we remain with 8 plus 3. So in simplified form, we shall have 8 plus 3, which will give us 11 root of 2, and these are the meters. However, when you look at the question told us that they want it in root of b. They want only one thing inside the root of b, meaning that now we are going to continue to simplify it further. Here, when you check, you notice that outside the b, there is something. So to simplify it further into the form they want it, in this form only, what are we going to do? We are going to take our 11 inside. How do we take the 11? I want to take you back a step back, that if we have 5 root of 2, to make this one, to take the 5 inside, we shall always say this 5, we know well that to get the 5 inside, I'm going to square it. So I will say 5 squared times 2. That is the only way I can take it outside. Inside. I don't know that people are getting this. I want to repeat that part. That if I have 5 root of 2, to take the 5 back inside the root, I will square it. I will say 5 squared times 2. Such that here I'll end up with root of 25 times 2, which will give me root of 50. That's how we take the 5 inside, such that when you separate, this becomes 5 squared times root of 2. And this 2 and the square root cancels, so you get back to the original thing. Members, is that okay? In the chat? Is it okay? If you feel it is okay, can you tell me 11 root of 2, take it for me back and tell me which answer we are getting? Take for me that 11 inside and tell me which answer we are getting. Inside there. Write for me the answer. Thank you, Saj. Yes, hope everyone now is seeing. So to take it back, yes, people have picked the concept. So to take it back, we shall now have inside 11 squared times 2, which will give us here 121 times 2. And according to people's answers, this will give us the root of 242 meters. So that is where you end with that number. Members, is it fine? Is it okay? Are we good to continue? Okay. Yes, Marita. Yeah. Okay. People saying it is okay. So that's where you stop with that particular part. And always, now next time, they may tell you, they may give you another scenario. They tell you that write it in this form. So you need to understand. Next time they can tell you in this form. Now, in case they tell you in this form of a root of b, then that means that this is where you end at this point. So you need to look at in which kind of form do they want it. In case they want it in this form, you end here. In case they just want it in form of root of b, then this is where you end. Okay, I think we are good to continue. So we are going to go to the second part. Determine the perimeter of the field, giving your answer in the simplest surd form. Now, we already have our sketch here of the field. Now, in our field, we have already obtained, this is our field. You can notice that our length here, we have simplified and we have got our answers 11 root of 2. Then for this side here, we have got our answers 5 root of 2. Now, when we go to the second part wants us to get the perimeter. And you know that if it is a rectangular, this side we shall also have 5 root of 2, and also up here we shall have 5 root of 2. Now there are two ways you can do it. Now we are going to find the perimeter of that thing. So we know that perimeter is given by, so you know that perimeter is given by length plus width plus length plus width, which is very okay. So for you can do it in step by saying this is 11 root of 2 plus 11 root of 2 plus 5 root of 2 plus 5 root of 2. Now when you look at it, you are noticing that root of 2 is the same throughout. So meaning that I can say, let me put it outside since it is common throughout. So here I'll remain with 11 plus 11 plus 5 plus 5. So when you add everything there, 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 5 plus 5, you end up with 32. So this is going to be 32 root of 2. I don't know whether this is okay. Now, in a simplified surd form, so in a simplified surd form, now you can go on and take it in a surd form. In a simplified surd form, you can, okay, it depends on what they want it, but you can leave it here, or if you want to put it in the real side, in the other side, then you write 2048 meters. But this one is also a simplified form. I don't know whether we are on the same page. Are we on the same page? Is there any question? And then here, do not forget to respond back to the item. Yeah, do not forget to respond. Okay. Okay, then part C required us to find the exact area of the field. So you say area of the field will equal to the length times the width. So you'll come and say this is 11 root of 2. I'm multiplying it times 5 root of 2. Can everyone first do that and you put your answer in the chat as I respond to someone here? Yes, Danetta, unmute.
Teacher, I was asking that here on 32 root, if I use the other method that you told us of squaring the 32, is it correct?
Like to continue and give that answer of
No, like
2048.
if I do it, is it okay?
Yeah, though here they did not simplify in which simplest form they wanted it. So you can put both.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so it is okay here. I know it is going to be 2048. Okay, so here, remember when you are multiplying sides, these numbers, they will multiply. So 11 times 5, then also we shall have root 2 times 2. So here we get our 55 root of 4, which will give you 55 times 2, and 55 times 2 gives us 110 meters squared. Okay, then you conclude that the exact area of the field is 110 square meters. I don't know whether people are still on the same page. Okay, then the last part, part D, they wanted us to advise the school on the total cost of the fencing wire required to go around the field once. In other words, they're asking us to estimate how much money the school is going to incur. So what are we going to do? So remember they told that the fencing wire costs 5,000 per meter. And how many meters do we have for the perimeter? 32 root of 2 meters. So I want everyone now to first calculate for us. Yes, Gavania. Can everyone first calculate for us the cost? Yes, Gavania.
Morning, Master.
Yes, good morning.
Master, pardon on the previous where we were simplifying simplifying the length into root b.
I'm not getting you. The length?
Yes. Where you were simplifying because my computer was off.
Okay, I'm not getting you well. You are saying you are talking about this slide.
Yes.
Okay, we are going to look at another number, I think. Seven.
Excuse me, could you please help work out the area, but with you opening the brackets?
With?
You opening the brackets, like
I have opened them here. Remember, you had 11 root of 2 times 5 root of 2. This is multiplication. So I can only multiply these numbers outside, which is 11 times 5. And also I multiply the numbers which have roots, 2 times 2. Which gives you 55 root of 4. Which gives you 55 times 2, which gives you 110. Let me hope it is clear. Angel?
Teacher,
Yes.
in case when we have, for example, here in the area, when the
Mm.
numbers in the root are different,
Mm.
do we need
As
to
long as it
multiply?
is multiplication, As long as it
Yes.
is multiplication, let me say you have 5 root of 3 and you are multiplying times 2 root of 5. Still, as long as between the two roots you are multiplying is multiplication, you multiply the 5 times the 2 into 3 times 5. So here you would have gotten 10 root of 15. Okay, hope that is okay. I'm expecting people to be completing the last part. Daniela?
Teacher, me, I'm inquiring about the last part.
Mm.
I'm working out, but things are not coming.
Okay, what are you getting?
Am I supposed to use the perimeter or the area?
Remember, what are you going to fence? What are you fencing?
I'm facing the field.
The field. Now, fencing the field, you are going to move around the field. So, which means that is the perimeter. Yeah. Okay. So,
Thank
I
you, sir.
expect you to say that the total cost will equal to your perimeter, which I can use 32 root of 2, then times the 5,000. So when you multiply 32 root of 2 times the 5,000, you are going to get something like 226,274.77. I told you, when it comes to money issues, first write it the way you are getting it. Then from there, that's when now you can make an approximate.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. I think the network here is not so good, I think. Okay, so that's how you are supposed to do that item. And let me hope we have been able to finish it. Okay, so we can look at another item. First read through that item again. This is another item. Read through that item. Okay, so they told us that there is this gentleman, and when you look at this particular item, there is an idea of sequence and number patterns. Okay, so we are going to start. So the first thing they have asked in the first task is that assist Kwame by simplifying the third form of the plant's height for the first 3 weeks. Now, the first thing you do, you have to simplify them. So I'm going to ask each one of us to first simplify. We have week 1, we have week 2, and we have week 3. Can everyone first try to simplify? Week 1, we had root of 12. Week 2, we had root of 48. Root 3, we had 108. Can we first simplify them? And then you can share your answer in the chat in a simplified form. But also we can have someone raise up the hand and you take us through at least one of them. Okay, yes, Josh.
Let me start with week 1.
Root of?
Root of 12.
Okay.
So root of 12, when I get the numbers that can multiply to get it, I get root of 4 times 3.
Okay.
So I get root 4 times root 3.
Okay.
So I have 2 times root 3.
Okay. Thank you. Gavanian.
Week 2.
Week 2. Mm-hmm.
The root of
16.
16, I believe.
16 times.
16 times 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's root 8 times root 3.
No.
It's 8.
Okay. Olive. Mugisa. Okay. Hunter. Hunter. Okay. Chilabo.
So we have root 108. So we're going to say root 36 times 3. Then after, root 36 times root 3 to get our answer as 6 root 3. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Let me hope those simplified roots are okay to everyone. So this is how you simplify for the first week. That in week 1, it will be this, week 2, week 3. Now we go to part B. They told us that uncover the pattern in the sequence of heights and predict the viny's likely height in the 4th week, leaving your answer in simplified study form. Now, when you look at the patterns, in week 1, we had 2 root 3. In week 2, we had 4 root 3. In the other one, we had 6 root of 3. Which kind of pattern have we been able to notice in the chart? To move from week 1 to week 2, week 2 to week 3, which pattern are you noticing? Who is saying +2, +2, +2? Very good. If I may ask, is this an AP or it is a GP? Tell me in the chat. People are saying it is, Cynthia is saying it is an AP. An AP, very good. The difference is the same between 2 consecutive roots. Now they have asked us, uncover the pattern in the sequence and predict the viny's likely height in the 4th week, leaving your answer in simplified side form. So can you give me, what do you think will be in the 4th week? Yes, Nakafel.
Sure, you were talking about AP and GP, but for me, I'm not getting anything. I don't know what is AP, what is GP.
Oh, that is a sign that there is a lesson you missed this week. So we discussed about APs and GPs for about 1 hour. So you revised one of the lessons for this week when we are doing about sequences, and then you learn about it. But it means arithmetic progression, meaning that the difference between any 2 consecutive digits is the same.
Yes.
Okay. Chirabo? Yes, Chirabo? Okay. Joan? Yes, Chirabo?
I was
That by
inquiring
accident.
whether on
Okay, Joan, first come.
I was inquiring on the part of week 2 and week 3 that could I use the roots of 24 on week 2? Can I use the roots of 24 and 2? And on root 3 and on week 3, can't I use the roots of 4 and 27?
Okay, Joan, before you go off, when you look at 24 and 2, on this one, is there any number that has a perfect root? When you look at 24 and 2, do we have any perfect root?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So the numbers you get must have perfect roots.
Okay.
Okay, Molindwa, people, can you predict in the 4th week what we shall have? Yes, Molindwa.
Teacher, when I say and I say that that 83, 8 root 3, and I come here and I put 8 in the root. It can work.
For what? 4th week?
Yes, the first week, and I say it is 8 root 3.
Yes, that is okay.
That is
So
okay.
so for the 4th week here, we shall have 8
Mm.
root of 3. Now, to put it in the simplified form of the surds they wanted, it means that now you can take it back and say this is 8 squared times 3. So for it will be the same as 192. Okay. Let me hope that is very okay.
Yes. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Okay. So from there, we are going now to continue to the last part. Now, those people who were with us, we say that the moment you discover that the pattern between any two consecutive numbers, when you check here, you are not seeing that between this and this, when you ask for the difference, 4 root 3 minus 2 root of 3, you are not seeing here you get 2 root of 3. That is the common difference I want you to take note. When you look at the next one, 6 root of 3 minus the 4 root 3, here still you get 2 root of 3. The next one still, because here it was 8 root of 3, still the common difference is 2 root of 3. And we say that the moment you find out that the common difference is the same throughout, then it means that the thing you are dealing with is an AP, an arithmetic progression. And we say that for any arithmetic progression, in order for us to get the formula, to derive the formula for any nth term, then it means that I'm going to just come and not say that now I have got my AP, my common difference is 2 root of 3. The first term the term that was starting was 2 root, let me be sure. It was 2 root 3. That was the first term. And we say that to get for any nth term, we say that will always equal to A plus n minus 1 times D, where D is what we call the common difference and A is the first term, N is for any terms. So we shall come here and say the A is 2 root of 3 plus n minus 1 into 2 root of 3. So we can simplify further by saying 2 root of 3 plus, when we open the brackets, I'll have 2n root of 3 minus 2 root of 3. Now, 2 root of 3 minus root 3 gives us 0, so I remain with the 2n root of 3 as my formula for the nth term. And then we say that here after it will say 4n equals to 1, 2, 3, and so on, whereby 1 stands for the first week, 2 stands for the second week, 3 stands for the third week. Members, hope we are on the same page. Is that okay? Yes, Molindwa.
Teacher, you have solved it here and you say that I think these two root 3, we are going to add on this.
Remember, this is a
bracket.
minus. This is a minus. So 2 root 3 minus 2 root 3 is 0.
And remaining only with this only.
Yeah. Okay, so that is how we do that one. Do not forget that whenever they ask you for the formula, you need to give for which n. That for 1, 2, 3, do not assume. Always test. Even you can go and test when n is equal to 1. Do I get 2 times 1 root of 3, which is 2 root of 3? What about when n is equal to 2? What do I have? I'll have 2 times 2 root of 3, which is 4 root of 3. Yeah. So that one, have it always at the back of your mind. Let me hope that one is very, very okay. Then next, okay. Hope we are good to continue. Even here, sometimes they may ask you to predict in which week can we have, they can tell that in which week should we expect something of this and this? So you need also to know how to deal with such a thing. In case they tell that, in which week shall we expect to have this and this? So you need to know how to use the formula to have that. Take an example. They may, let me just put your part day. Predict the week in which the growth would have reached so let me give you here, would have reached 17280 centimeters. Yeah, can we also do that one? Let everyone first try that. After getting the formula, they may tell you that predict the week in which the growth would have reached 17280 meters. So can we also try that one? We said for GP, the formula for those where, for GP, we said the formula is like this. But for you, please get time and visit that video, ARN minus 1. That is for GP, ARN minus 1. And we said for GP, that's when the ratio is the same, common ratio. So everyone is trying out part D to predict. Mm. So I'm waiting to look at the chat. People are saying that some are saying 24th, others are saying 12th week. 24th week or 12th? Which one? Jovan? I don't know that Jovan, you can unmute and you take us through. Yeah. Yes,
Good
Jovan?
morning, teacher.
Yes, morning.
So I think first of all, we're going to expand the root of 1728 and like change it so that there's a perfect square somewhere.
Okay.
So in order for it to correspond with like the formula we had come up with of the 2n root of 3, we divide it by 3 so that we can find what you multiply it by 3 to become 1728. That will be root of 576 times root of 3. Then you equate it. Okay, then that root of 576 times root of 3. Then the root of 576 is 24. So then you equate this, since this is the height it's going to be in those n weeks, you equate this to the formula that you had found out in part C. And then you divide both sides by root of 3. Which gives you 2n is equal to 24. Then when you divide both sides by 2, you get your answer as n is equal to 12. So the vine, or the vine would grow to reach root of 1728 in the 12th week. Then that will be your response.
Okay, thank you so much, Jovan. Yeah, so
Okay.
those who are getting 24, you did not complete, eh? Yeah. Okay, thank you, Jovan. Okay, so we are going to continue. I have another task here. You can read through. Okay. You will try it in your free time. Hope you have taken a screenshot. Hope you have taken a screenshot. It is a bit related to what we have done. Okay, then I have another one here. So we are going to first do this one as well. Okay. Yes, Cynthia.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So my question is about the previous answer. What if I don't first simplify it?
Okay.
Will I still be marked? Like how he did, will I still be marked?
And did you get the, yeah, we have two ways to do it, eh? Even that way is also okay. Hope you got the same answer.
Yes.
Take us through how you got yours. She's okay.
So the root was root 1728. And I equated it to 2n. Yes, 2n root 3. So I divided 3 by root 3. Also this side by root 3. So I remained with 2n is equal to 24. Divide both sides and draw.
It is okay. Okay, let me hope people have finished read through. Can we now start? Remember now, since they have told us to determine the perimeter, I expect you that now you are going to first simplify this, the length. After, also simplify the width. So first simplify each part separately. First find out what is root of 243. Simplify it. Simplify what is root of 48. Simplify it. What is root of 75? Simplify those ones. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing for some 2 minutes and then I will share again. So let's simplify those ones. Hope the screen is on. Mary, hope you are seeing the screen now. So I want everyone to simplify. When you simplify, you can share with us in the chat. Okay. Yes, Chila. Oh, Chilabo, your hand was up. Yes, Chilabo.
I wanted to give the answers, but it's okay.
No, you give us what you have, Chilabo.
Okay, for part A, we have root 243. Then after I got it equals to root what?
Okay,
Root 8.
Root 243.
Yes, please.
You have?
Is equals to root 81 times 3.
Okay.
Then after, it's going to be root 81 times root 8 times root 3. And you get your answer as 9 root 3.
Okay, good.
Then we have root 48 is equals to root 16 times 3, which is equals to root 16 times root 3. Then your answer is 4 root 3.
Okay.
Then for root 75, you have your answer equals to root 25 times 3. Then after, you're going to get root 25 times root 3, which is equals to 5 root 3. Then after, I just added the ones for the length, which was 9 root 3 plus 4 root 3 to get 13 root 3.
Okay.
To get 13 root 3, then after, I found my parameter to be length times width times length times width.
I beg your pardon?
My parameter is equals to length times width times length. Length plus width. So sorry, teacher.
Okay.
Length plus width times plus length plus width.
Okay.
Then I have that 13 root 3 plus 5 root 3 plus 13 root 3 plus 5 root 3. And then I got my answer to be 36 root 3.
Okay. Thank you so much. I don't know whether the rest that is the answer we are coming up with, but let me hope so that that is the answer you are getting. Is everyone coming up with that answer? Good. Yes. So then you'll conclude that the perimeter of the rectangular field is 36 root of 3 meters. Okay. Then from there, we can okay. Let's look at part B. Calculate the area. Thank you. Area. People are getting 195. That is said. Okay. Darren, can you unmute? Kate, Darren? Okay, who's taking us through the area? Okay. Okay, Mugisa. Oh, sorry. Mugisa, unmute.
Area, we say that area equals to length times width.
Okay.
Then our length is 13 root 3. Then times our width, which is 5 root 3.
Okay.
Then if we multiply, we get 13 times 5, which is then root 3 times root 3. Here we get, let me see. It is 13 times 5, which is 65 times root 9. Yes, then we get 65 times 3. 65 times 3. We get 195 meters squared.
Okay, good. And then after, you respond back that the exact area of the field is 195 meters squared. Okay, then part C. Advise the farmer on the total cost of the fencing wire required to go around once. So that means, can everyone also calculate that? Yes, Rabban?
See, I want to calculate I want to advise the farmer to throw amount of money.
Okay.
You get 36 root 3.
Okay.
Times 7,500. And you get 4,667, and you get 467, 653. 0.718. That's it, master. And I want to ask you, for the sign for an approximate, because for me, my teacher told me the symbol you showed us is not the real symbol.
You can use this.
Which one, teacher? That, yeah?
Here. Hey.
But teacher, our teacher told us that symbol is not correct. That the symbol which is correct is it is when we are rounding off the symbol we use for rounding off.
Which one?
When we are rounding off, the symbol we use to approximate.
Which symbol do you use?
We make a dash and we put like
that.
Yeah, that. Yes, that.
Now you can now make your own research. You can go to internet and check out the different signs we use in math. So you check out for an approximation sign and you see what they will bring for you.
Hey.
So you make research. Okay. So now this one is possible. Now imagine, always you need to be very critical. Sometimes, let me say, this question, in case in case there was something, advise the farmer on the total cost of fencing the wire required to go to the field. Maybe in case there was anything involving mobile money, let me say, it was advised the farmer on the total cost he would send via mobile money to the person to purchase something like this. Now, this amount you are seeing here, it is very possible via the mobile money. If it is mobile money, that is very, very possible. But since they have not mentioned anything like mobile money, then here we expect you to come and say, in cash terms, approximately, this would be 467. I don't know which amount you are going to write there. Let me say, people had already put 0, 0. Yeah. So that is very, very okay. Okay, that is very, very fine. Okay, then from there, yes, Elk.
I want to ask, why do you round off the nearest hundreds?
To the nearest hundred. Like here,
Yes.
you look at which amount of money is very possible in our Ugandan context. So here, I know some of you can write this, something like this, but still this one is not possible. Now the nearest would be 60, of which also 60 is not possible in Ugandan shillings, so the nearest would have been 700. Because if you round off to 60, let me say you write 660, it is okay. But do we have a 60 shillings? That no. So that means you round up again to 700. I don't know that is okay. Eric, is that clear? Not yet.
It's clear. Understood.
Yeah. So you look at the amount we have within our Ugandan context, that yes, there is a 50 shillings, there is a 100. But also I think these ones have taken some good years without seeing a 50 shillings coin. I think they have started to withdraw that amount of 50 shillings in the currency, though it is still existing. But I think they have started to withdraw it from the economy. So here you'll conclude. In your conclusion now, you'd say that the cost of fencing would be this to the nearest 100 shillings or to the nearest shillings. Yeah, yes. But like I've told you, first put your answer you have got. Don't round off from the calculator. First put your answer the way you have got and then say approximately that. Okay, then the last part, how many kilograms are expected to be harvested? How many kilograms? They told that he planned to divide into two parts, one to be left for home for eating and another portion for sale in the ratio of 2 to 3 respectively. He hopes to leave the home some 400 kilograms for eating. So let me first clear my screen and then we go through that part. I don't know whether it is Eric you want to take us through.
just left my hand up.
Yes?
I just left my hand up.
Okay, but you can first take us through the first part. At least say something on what you think we are going to do.
The perimeter of a field.
Yes?
Part A.
Part D. On part D.
Part D.
Hmm.
I think.
You think? Okay, Eric is still thinking.
I think you get the total kilograms for better to be shared in a ratio 2:3.
Okay.
Do that by asking a total ratio 2+3.
Okay. Okay, good. So you first get the total ratio. So you shall have 2 plus 3. And what do you get?
5.
We get 5. Okay, good.
But the question said.
Yes?
The question says the ratio for 2 is for eating, and also 400 kilograms are for eating.
Okay, so we have a home for eating and then another portion for sale. So we have eating to sell, which is 2 to 3.
So a fraction for eating is 3 out of 5. And then, so then you let the total kilograms you harvested be X.
Okay, let the total. Okay, let the total be X. Continue.
Let's say 3 out of 5 of X is equal to
3 out of 5 of X is equal to
400.
400. Now, what is available? We need first know what is available. Is it for, remember, 3 is for sale. Then we have been given for eating. So the 400 is for what?
It's 2. It's 2. Just to remember, it's 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Okay. So what shall we have? 2 out of 5 is equal to
X 400.
400, right?
When you solve, you get 1000.
Okay, when you solve, X is equal to 1000 kilograms. Okay, thank you. Now let me ask Elliot to complete. Oh, sorry, Elliot.
Okay, he helps to leave home some 100 kilograms for eating. So I think, yes, 1000 is the answer. So what is left is concluding. So I think we conclude like this. 1000 kilograms are expected to be harvested at the end of the season.
Okay, very good. What if they had asked for how the one that went for sale? What would be the answer?
Answer would be 600 kilograms.
600 kilograms. Okay, thank you. So that's how you had to attempt that part on it. So unless someone has a question, you may raise up the hand in case you have any question. Maybe in case you have any question concerning Surds, feel free to raise up your hand. Feel free to raise up your hand. Okay, so allow me, I'm going to remove this screen and I first put, in case the question involves writing, then I get a space for writing. So, Okay. Okay, pick. Yes, 7, ask.
Teacher, on part A, when they told us to write the SAD in the simplest
When
form,
they?
why did we stop on? They told us to write the SAD in the simplified form, a simplified SAD. Why? Okay, explain your meaning of a simplified SAD.
Now, a simplified SAD, like it means that you can't go beyond that point. What you have remained with, you can't go beyond it. So we cannot go beyond this, unless when the question, sometimes the question may tell that they want it in a particular form. But this is very okay, depending on the context. So here there are two contexts of the simplified form. For the other particular question, like they wanted us to put it in the form they had put the weeks. That's why we went on. But this one, even if you leave your answer here, this is very simplified. You can't go beyond that point. Okay, Marita?
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Sure. Like there is this question that Shule was like, okay, teacher, it is very long, but there were Surds, yeah, item 1. I sent them to you, but I don't know if you got them. It was like, a school organized an inter-class competition in which the winning class would receive a prize money that was a value multiply of 10, presented as, these ones like where bases converted, then where that then senior 4 class manages to win these competitions by answering all the quiz questions in just in bracket 32, then bracket 10.
As you continue, Marita,
Yes.
can you first
Yes,
tap on
teacher.
my WhatsApp such that I can get that message? Because I remember you sent, but I looked for that number, I was not seeing it. But you just put hi such that it appears on top as you continue to read.
Okay, teacher. Then plus square root of 3 t plus 2 up, then equals to 25. With it, t trials better than any other class in the competition. In addition, they said in addition, price of 1200 for quiz exercise books is to be shared by the 4 streams, 4A, 4B, and these are 4C and 3 and 4D as follows. Senior 4A is given a third of the books. Shall let me send it?
Okay, because I'm also saying there's one who has sent the one from Kono, and from Kono it had something like this: 2 root of 5 plus root of 8, and the 2 root of 5 minus root of 8. So this was length, and this was the width. Yeah, so I think I'm going to share with you that item from Kono, but it had something like this. So let me read it the way it is here. To avoid errors in decimals, he expressed the length and the width of the rectangular floor. This was the size of the floor of the house. 2 root of 5 plus root of 8, and this was 2 root of 5 minus root of 8. And they wanted to fix the tiles onto the floor. And each box of the tiles he plans to buy can cover an area. Each tile, the area that tile can cover is 1.5 meters squared. And each box is sold like that, like that. Now here, for this one, they were testing. Do you know how to multiply surds? That's what they were testing here. To be able to get the area. So the person who has sent this one from Kono, now here the first thing you do, you need to multiply. You know that area is given by length times width. So you come to your area, to your length, which was 2 root of 5 plus root of 8, into 2 root of 5 minus root of 8. Now, those who have a keen eye, you can notice that this is a difference of two squares. The first one here is the same. When you look here, 2 root of 5, 2 root of 5, 2 root of 5. Then here it is only the sign that is changing. So you could use the difference of two squares by saying that your a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, a minus b. So for this, your a would have been 2 root of 5 and your b would have been root of 8. So when you square them, when you substitute them here, you'd have 2 root of 5 squared minus 8 squared. However, here is where the problem comes from when you are squaring. 2 root of 5 squared means 2 root of 5 times 2 root of 5 minus 64. So you multiply 2 times 2 is 4 times root of 5 times root of 5. Root of 5 times root of 5 means root of 5 squared, which is equal to 5. So this means 4 times 5 minus 60 minus 64. Then when you say 4 times the 5, then you end up with 20 minus 64, which will give you the 20 minus 64, which will give you the negative 44. And now here, your reasoning is going to come in. Your reasoning is going to come in. You ask yourself, oh, sorry. I think I've noticed. This is root of 8. This is root of 8. Yeah, I've noticed this was root of 8. Yeah. So here we are going to change. I had forgotten that it was root of 8. So this would have been 8. This would have been 8. So 4 times 5 is 20. So this would be 20 minus 8. And 20 minus 8, we end up with 12 meters squared. This is for the one person. Another person could go on and you just multiply. You just do what? You multiply. Now, when you okay. So the other alternative was for you to multiply. Those who know how to multiply. So you'd have said 2 root of 5 into 2 root of 5 minus root of 8 plus root of 8 into 2 root of 5 minus root of 8. So when you open the brackets, here you have 2 root of 5 times 2 root of 5 minus 2 root of 5 times root of 8 plus root of 8 root of 5 minus root of 8 root of 8. Automatically, these ones in the middle will cancel out. So here you remain with 4 times 5 minus 8. So which gives you 20 minus 8, which still gives you 12 meters squared. Now, after multiplying or doing this, then they wanted you to find out like the number of tiles needed. So you'll get your total area, which is the 12, divided by the space each tile takes. So each tile was taking 1.5. So you say the 12 divided by 1.5, which gives you 8 of them. Then from there, you would estimate the amount or the cost that they had given you. I don't know whether it is very okay, the person who sent that question, whether that is very okay. So, but I think I'm going to share it on WhatsApp as well, such that you can be able to see how that question was. Yeah, but that's what they wanted on that particular part. Then allow me also to check. I don't know that this is the Shule one. Okay. Let's first do this one of Shule still together. The one for Shule was like this. I'm going to divide because it is long. Allow me to even use this pen. So for Shule, I'm going to, I think this was Shule. It was 2 minus root of 3 out of 2 plus root of 3 plus x root of y equals to, I think this is what yes, I want I think it was Marita Marita, is that the question?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, and they wanted what? They wanted X and Y?
Let me see the question. Purchase. Yeah, they wanted X and Y.
X and Y. Now, for such a question, the first attempt or what you can do, there are two ways you can do it. One, you can first collect like terms. How do we collect the like terms? I can first bring everything without unknown to be on one side. Take an example. I am going to write this. Now, the whole of this one, I'm going to carry it at once. Or alternatively, I can first simplify this side. I also simplify this side. That is one alternative. Another alternative, I make it come this side. So this side, it is positive. When it comes this side, it will become negative. So I can first come and say, oh, now you are going to let me know which approach you want me to use. Either I can first rationalize, simplify it on separately, or I first make it cross. Is there anyone you, okay, since people, so let me first make it cross. So when I cross this side, I'm going to remain with X is equal to 2 plus root of 3 out of 2 minus root of 3 minus. So when I say minus, this side I have 2 minus root of 3 out of the 2 plus root of 3. Kindly first let me know through the chat whether that first step is okay. Let me know through the chat whether that step is okay. Everyone, how we have made it cross the other side. It is okay. Now, if that is okay, I'm going to come here and I say this becomes 2 plus root of 3 out of the 2 minus root of 3. Now, this negative here, I'm going to have my negative there. Then here I'll have the 2 minus root of 3 divided by 2 plus root of 3, like that. So Gavanian, you may ask. Yes, Gavanian.
Master.
Yes.
I would like to ask on the way how I can simplify the surds, because I find the problem when I'm getting these, when I'm printing them. For example, you gave us this surd for 243. Then to know the numbers that I will use, they would like to help me.
So that one we said if you have 243, you divide, start by 2, by 3, by 5, by 7, like that. So any you find that is going to give you a whole number without decimal points, that is the pair you're going to use.
Okay. Thank you, Master.
Yes, this one will go. When you say by 3, then you continue like that, like that. Okay. So when we reach this point here, I want you to remember from your knowledge of LCMs that if I have 1 out of A plus 1 out of B, here I know very well that my LCM is going to be AB. So if it is AB, I will divide. Here I will get A, here I will get B. Now, we are going to relate. I want us to relate. When I have 1 out of A plus 1 out of B, still I can obtain this by saying I cross multiply here, I'll have 1 times B. I cross multiply here, I'll have plus. Since here it is a plus, I'll have 1 times A. Divide everything by what I have done, which is AB. And this is the approach I want us to use. For this particular one, whether it is a minus, 1 minus A out of 1 by, I'll cross multiply here, I'll have 1 times B. Cross multiply here, you'll have, since this is a minus, I'll have 1 times A divided by A times B. Kindly let me know through the chat whether that is okay. Is that okay to everyone? Okay, it is fine. Now I'm going to go on and apply. So when I go on to apply, here you are going to allow me, I'm going to cross multiply first. This one I'll multiply. So I'll have 2 plus root of 3 into 2 plus root of 3. Now there is a minus. I put my bracket, this one here. So it is going to be 2 minus root of 3 into 2 minus root of 3. Then divide by down. I multiply these two as 2 minus root of 3 into 2 plus root of 3. Now, once I reach that point, I'm going to first deal with individual ones. Now, individual ones, I'm going to first deal with this bracket here to multiply. So I'm going to come and say 2 plus root of 3 into 2 plus root of 3. Remember, don't apply the difference of two squares if these two signs are different. So since these signs are different, I have to open very well. So this 2 here multiplies everything here. So I will say 2 into 2 plus root of 3. Then this one here also multiplies everything. So I say plus root 3 into 2 plus root of 3. So when I continue, I'll multiply. This 2 times what is inside gives us 4 plus 2 root of 3 plus 2 root of 3 plus root of 9. Hope we are still on the same page. Yes, Gavania.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
I'm saying here we're simplifying this number, and I think we had to get the conjugate, but I'm saying up the conjugate of since the down number was in a negative, then it became a positive, but up it remained in a negative. I don't know, was it a conjugate?
No, we have not gotten any conjugate. We are just simplifying.
Oh.
Okay, but I will show you that approach as well. So when you come here, we shall have 4 plus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3 gives us 4 root of 3 plus the 3 here. So this one will give us 4 plus 3, which gives us 7 plus 4 root of 3. So where we have this one here, we shall replace it with this one. Then now, I go to the second part of this. So here we have 2 minus root of 3 multiplied by 2 minus root of 3. So this one still, this 2 will multiply everything. So I'll have 2 into 2 minus root of 3 minus root of 3 into 2 minus root of 3. So I open the brackets. I'll have 4 minus 2 root of 3 minus 2 root of 3 plus root of 9. Because this negative and a negative will give us a positive. So this will give us the 4 minus 2 root 3 minus 2 root 3 gives us minus 4 root of 3, then plus the 3. Root of 9 is 3. So which still gives us 7 minus 4 root of 3. So here we shall put this. Then the last part we are going to simplify is the one down. And down here we have this. So I'll come and say 2 minus root of 3 into 2 plus root of 3. So still you can also open the brackets. There is no problem. But since this is a negative and this is a minus, then for it you can use the difference of 2 squares. So if you can allow me to use the difference of 2 squares, then I'll just say this is 2 squared minus root of 3 squared, which will give us here 4 minus 3, which will give us a 1. Okay, let me pass speak. Yes, Kathy?
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning.
Teacher, here where we cross multiplied. Oh, and now why did you divide by 2 root 3, then 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3? I thought we cross multiplied.
No, that's what I told you. Do you remember when I have 1 out of 2 plus 1 out of 3? Not so?
Yes.
What is your LCM?
It will be 6.
6. Then you say 6 divided by 2, you get?
3.
Plus 6 divided by 3, you get?
2.
2. And your answer will be 5 out of?
6.
Now, if I'm applying this approach of cross multiplying, or a fraction, I'll multiply here times here. So I say 1 times 3, then plus this 2 times the 1, which is 2 times 1. Then after I divide by these ones down, 2 times 3.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. So you end up getting the same answer. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Now, after there, I'm going to substitute. We are going to substitute here. So you are going to allow me here. I'll come here and I substitute. Where there is 2 plus root 3, I'm going to put 7 plus 4 root of 3 minus 7 minus 4 root of 3. Divide by 1. Because out down is 1. But we know that everything divided by 1, it is the same as that thing. So now I'm going to come, now I'm removing this since I've already showed you. I'm going to clean here. So when I come back here, I'm going to have 7 plus 4 root of 3 minus, now I'm going to open here. I'll have minus 7. Now negative and a negative will give us a positive plus 4 root of 3 is equal to x root of y. Now, the 7 minus 7 is 0. So I will get x root of y equals to 4 root of 3 plus 4 root of 3. Now, what is 4 plus 4? Gives us 8. So I have 8 root of 3 equals to x root of y. Now, the moment you reach here, you relate. What is your x? X. What is your y? And y. So you relate for me. You tell me what is your x and what is your y. Relate what is your x and what is your y. So Hunter, please check out your answers. Your y is okay, your x was not right. Let me hope now everyone can relate. So here you say now, my x is equal to 8 and my y is equal to 3. And then since the question wanted us to, I think they wanted you to get the dimensions, then you can go on and finish it by getting the dimensions of what they wanted to purchase. But that's how you had to approach it. Okay, now from there, another approach someone could have used. Allow me to clean the board again. Allow me to clean this space. I think I need to create another space. Another approach someone could have used could have been something like this. So another way you could do it, you could come and say 2 minus root of 3 out of 2 plus root of 3 plus x root of y equals to 2 plus root of 3 out of 2 minus root of 3. Now what you can do, you can first simplify this alone. So you say 2 minus root of 3 out of 2 plus root of 3. So to simplify it means that you want to eliminate the denominator. So you say this is 2 minus root of 3 out of the 2 minus root of 3. So when you do like that, you'll multiply the upper as 2 minus root of 3 into 2 minus root of 3, divide by 2 plus root of 3 into 2 minus root of 3. Now, when you multiply the ones up, I think that is where we ended up with 7 minus 4 root of 3. So here up, you are going to allow me to just put 7 minus 4 root of 3. Divide by, now the one you have down here is the difference of two squares. You have 2 plus root of 3 and you have 2 minus root of 3. So your a squared minus b squared for this case will be 2 squared minus root of 3 squared, which gives you 4 minus 3, which gives you 1. So down here you have 1, and therefore here you'll end up having 7 minus 4 root of 3. Then still even on your right here, you do the same. 2 plus root of 3 out of 2 minus root of 3. So you multiply 2 plus root of 3 out of 2 plus root 3. Up there, you're going to remain with 7 plus 4 root of 3 divided by 1 after applying. So still you get 7, 4 plus root of 3. Now after you come here and you substitute. So the first one we shall say 7 minus 4 root of 3 plus x into root of y is equal to 7 plus 4 root of 3. You collect like terms. Take the 7 this side. Since it is positive, the moment it comes this side, it becomes a negative. So 7 will vanish. So you remain with negative 4 root of 3 plus x root of y equals to 4 root of 3. So the moment you take this one the other side, since it is negative, the moment it crosses, it becomes a positive. So you have 4 root of 3 plus 4 root of 3. So this gives us x root of y equals to 4 plus 4, which gives us 8 root of 3. And therefore you say x is equal to 8, y is equal to 3. Since now they told that the dimensions are xy by x plus y. So you'll come here and say this is 8 times 3, this is 8 plus 3. And therefore, you come up with the dimensions for that figure they wanted. So this would have been 24, and then this would have been 8 plus 3, which is 11. So that's how you had to approach that number for Shule. Yeah, so hope you have picked something. Yes, let me pick on Gavanian as Marita. You let me know whether it is okay now.
Master.
Yes.
On where we are finding 7 minus 4 root of 3. When we are pulling out, can't we use negative root of 3 as the on outside the bracket?
Which one?
Can't we put negative where we've got the answer of 7 minus 4 root of 3? From where it was still in the bracket, can't we put out negative root of 3? Can it work?
Here?
No, on the previous formula.
Here?
Yes.
Can't you?
Can't you put negative root of 3 instead of 2?
Why? Because here, remember, you are opening the brackets, remember how we opened? Remember we opened the brackets on the previous slide. So 2 times 2 gives us 4. 2 times root 3 gives us minus 2 root of 3. So there is then any way it will become that one.
Master, another question. I'm seeing here we have root 3, but you said that y equals to 3.
Like you equate corresponding one. X is with 8. Y is inside the root. So y is inside the root. So that's why we took 3.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Milton?
Thank you, sir. For me, I was off for a while though in the beginning, but I just wanted to know how you divided the 243.
240?
In the beginning.
I don't remember that now. Which 240 are you talking about?
Like, forgotten even. But
You
in the
have also
beginning,
forgotten.
there's a number.
No, we said that if you have 243 and you want to simplify it, you get 2 numbers, which when you multiply gives you 243. And I've said the best way to do it, start by dividing by 2, dividing by 3, dividing by 4, dividing by 5, like that. Then the moment you come up with a number, yeah, which when you divide, you don't get a remainder. Take an example. Once you divide 243 by 3, you end up with 81. So mean that 81 times 3 will give you that. Then the next question you ask, Does 81 have a perfect root? If the answer is yes, then it means it is the right thing to use.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I think, okay, Marita?
Yes, teacher. Teacher, it is okay. This second method has made it easier.
Okay, okay, okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, can you let me know what we should look at last tomorrow? Yeah, it can be a topic or it can be, but put it in the chat.
Functions. Data collection.
Okay, 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 okay. I think I've seen. Okay, 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 okay. So I have seen what we shall look at tomorrow. Allow me that we end here, and then let me wish you a good. So Josh, I don't know that you want to pray for us.
Yes, I would like to pray.
Okay, you pray for us.
So humble yourselves and we pray. Father Almighty, we thank you for today. We thank you for the life. Thank you for our teachers, oh Lord. Thank you for giving us the courage to wake up and study, oh Lord. And God, we pray that our efforts don't go in vain, but oh Lord, we pray that you give us yields from our efforts, oh Lord my God. Thank you for our teacher, Mr. Kaziwa Stefan. Please bless him and give him what he wants, oh Lord my God. Provide for our parents for school fees for next term and all that we need. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.